My name is Janet, and ever since I was a child, I felt a deep connection to the stars. Growing up in a small rural town with vast, open skies, I would lie on the grass at night, staring up, wondering if anyone, or anything, was looking back. The stars held mysteries that seemed beyond reach, but I was determined to understand them, as if they held a secret meant just for me. As I grew older, that childhood fascination became my life's pursuit. I threw myself into studying astrophysics, aiming to unlock the secrets of the cosmos. By the time I reached my early 40s, I had built a career exploring distant stars and galaxies, spending countless nights in observatories, studying data, searching for patterns. Every discovery felt like opening a door into a new world, yet each answer raised even more profound questions. In this quest, science became my tool, my way of understanding the universe. But my search was always more than scientific, it was spiritual. I couldn't separate my work from my faith, the feeling that there was something larger, something beyond equations and data. Science, for me, was a journey toward understanding creation itself, and it complemented the deep faith I held. I attended church regularly and often reflected on questions science couldn't answer. I saw no conflict between these two paths. One sought to explain the mechanics of the universe, while the other dealt with the mysteries of existence that lay beyond human understanding. One cool autumn evening, I wrapped up a late night at the observatory. My team and I had collected new data from a distant star system, and it hinted at possibilities I could hardly believe. My mind raced as I drove home along the winding mountain road, caught up in thoughts of what we might find. Could this data be evidence of something beyond Earth? Was I closer than ever to discovering that we weren't alone? The mountain road was familiar, and the air was crisp and clear. But as I navigated a sharp turn, my thoughts still miles away, my car skidded on the wet leaves covering the road. In an instant, everything spiraled out of control. The car lurched, and before I knew it, I was tumbling down a steep embankment. Metal twisted around me, and I felt a sharp pain as my head hit the window. Then, silence. For a brief moment, everything slipped away, and I was left in an all-encompassing darkness. When I became aware again, I was no longer in the car, no longer anywhere I recognized. I found myself in a place that felt like a vast void, a realm of deep, calming stillness. It wasn't a terrifying darkness, but a peaceful, comforting one, as if I were floating in a space where time didn't exist. I felt weightless, and with that weightlessness came a profound sense of calm. The pain and fear that had surrounded me moments ago were gone. Then, far in the distance, I saw it, a soft, golden light. It wasn't just a light, it was something that seemed to call to me, inviting me forward. I began to move toward it, feeling an irresistible pull. As I got closer, the light grew brighter, and colors I'd never seen before began to swirl around me, forming a tunnel of light that stretched endlessly before me. These colors were more vibrant than anything I had ever known, pulsating with life, creating a path that felt both endless and entirely welcoming. As I drifted through the tunnel, I sensed a presence beside me, one that radiated warmth and love beyond words. I turned, though I didn't know how I was moving in this place, and there he was, Jesus. His features were both familiar and indescribable, as though he were made of the very light that surrounded us. His presence filled every part of me, dissolving any lingering fear. I felt completely known, completely accepted, in a way I had never experienced before. "Welcome, my child," he said, though his voice seemed to come from within me rather than through sound. It was a communication that went beyond words, a connection of pure thought and feeling. I didn't need to speak aloud. My thoughts and emotions seemed to flow directly to him, as if my soul were speaking. "Am I dead?" I thought, the question forming in my mind like a quiet whisper. Jesus smiled, a smile that seemed to hold the universe itself. "You are between worlds, Janet," he replied gently. "Your physical body is gravely injured, but your journey is not yet complete." His words filled me with a strange mixture of relief and curiosity. I had so many questions that had driven my life's work. Without even realizing it, I asked the question that had been with me since childhood, a question that had shaped my very path. Are we alone in the universe? His expression was warm and understanding, filled with an infinite patience and wisdom. "The universe is vast, Janet," he began, his voice gentle yet powerful. "My Father's creation extends far beyond what you can see or imagine. My heart leaped with awe and hope. So there are other worlds, other beings? I asked, my voice filled with wonder. He nodded, his gaze filled with compassion. Life exists in countless forms across the cosmos, each unique and precious. Some are like you, bound by physical forms, while others exist in ways that transcend human understanding. The universe teems with diversity, every star and every life a testament to divine creativity. As he spoke, the space around us seemed to shift, and I caught glimpses of realms beyond anything I could comprehend, entire worlds, each with its own beauty and mystery. I saw beings made of pure light, planets with landscapes bathed in colors I had no names for, life forms that seemed to exist in dimensions beyond human perception. Each world, each life, was connected in a vast, intricate web that spanned the cosmos, part of a design so grand I could barely fathom it. As we continued through the tunnel, my life began to play out before me, but it wasn't like watching a movie. Instead, it felt as though I were reliving each moment, feeling every emotion, every experience, all over again. I saw myself as a young girl, lying in the grass, staring up at the stars with a heart full of wonder. I saw the years of study, the long nights at the observatory, the friendships and relationships that had come and gone. Each memory was vivid, alive, and I felt the emotions I had felt in each moment. But more than the big achievements, I saw the small acts of kindness I had shown to others, the little gestures that had seemed insignificant at the time, but had left a lasting impact. I saw myself comforting a friend, helping a stranger, sharing quiet moments with family. I felt an overwhelming sense of compassion, not judgment, as I relived these memories. Each choice, each connection, was a piece of a larger picture, one woven from love and empathy. Jesus watched with me, his presence a constant reminder that life's true purpose lay not only in seeking knowledge, but in the love and relationships we build. I realized that my quest for answers in the stars was part of a larger journey, one that went beyond scientific discovery and touched on the deepest truths of existence. My work was important, but it was only one part of a greater whole. Looking into his eyes, I felt an understanding settle over me. The greatest mysteries of life, I realized, weren't in the distant galaxies, but in the connections we forge with one another. The deepest truths, he said, his voice filled with wisdom, are found in the love you share with others. I felt a sudden pull, as if something were calling me back to the physical world. The colors around me began to fade, and I looked at Jesus, his gaze filled with love and encouragement. Your journey in the physical world is not over, he said gently. Take what you have learned here and let it guide you. I didn't want to leave this place of peace, this realm of boundless love and understanding, but I knew it wasn't my time. With a heart full of gratitude, I whispered, "Thank you." He smiled, his gaze filled with a love that held the entire universe. Remember, Janet, the capacity for love and understanding is the greatest miracle of all. Cherish it and share it. I opened my eyes, gasping for air, finding myself back in a hospital room, surrounded by the sterile walls and the hum of monitors. The physical pain returned, sharp and real, but with it came a profound sense of peace and purpose. I knew that what I had experienced was real and that it had changed me forever. As I recovered in the weeks that followed, I reflected on my near-death experience. I returned to my work as an astrophysicist, but my perspective had shifted. The mysteries of the cosmos were no longer just puzzles to be solved, but miracles to be appreciated. I shared my story with others, not to prove anything, but to offer them the sense of awe and peace I had found. Moving forward, I found myself becoming a bridge between science and faith. I spoke at universities, churches, and gatherings, encouraging others to see the beauty in both paths. I urged them to keep searching, to stay curious, but to remember that the most profound truths often lay within ourselves. Years passed, and while the mysteries of the universe remained vast, I had found a sense of peace. I no longer needed to have all the answers. The search itself was a gift, a way of connecting with the divine. And in that search, I found love, a love that bound us all, across the stars and beyond. Now, as I look up at the night sky, I feel both the vastness and the intimacy of the universe. I know that we are all connected, that the quest for understanding is as much about our souls as it is about the stars. In that knowledge, I have found both wonder and peace, knowing that love is the greatest force of all.